Here on Motoring Today's Motoring Forum, we continuously give you the frequently asked questions on different motoring concerns. In our previous episodes, we have discussed process on how to get a driver's license, classification of licenses, and do's and don'ts of having a driver's license. This week, LTO Law Enforcement Service Director Francis Almora is back once again, this time to discuss about motor vehicle registration process, its fees, and classifications. Everybody knows that before a motor vehicle can be used on the road, it must be registered first. Here's LTO Director Francis Almora to explain the registration process of LTO depending on the type of the vehicle.
This underband and these are just special, these are special circumstances how they were able to enter the Philippines. So these are very few. Something like if there's a special project, maybe a contractor will bring in special motor vehicles, but these are underband. They have to be, after completion of the project, they have to be re-exported. They have to be removed from the Philippines. If they will sell it in the Philippines, then they have to pay the taxes, corresponding taxes. So that's how that would work. Okay. Imported second-hand are these special type of motor vehicles. Imported second-hand, there are a lot of categories for that one. Then we have the balikbayan. If we are referring to cars, we have the privilege of a Filipino citizen to bring home one unit of motor vehicle provided that it passed through the channels. But for other types of motor vehicles, the special type of motor vehicles like the buses, ambulance, hearse, the one pang patay, and then trucks and buses. This undergoes a different process. But just the same, the procedure here is, of course, they have to comply on some requirements, like if these are imported as completely built unit, then they have to be reconfigured to suit the Philippine market. If these are left-hand drive or right-hand drive, then they have to be converted into left-hand drive. So yun po yung mga kailangan nila, then they have to pass through the roadworthiness inspection. Yes, that would be another category. Rebuilt is either imported or from the Philippine, the components come from previously registered motor vehicles. So like a truck, the chassis come from, maybe it had been, the engine was already, it's declared that it can no longer be serviced, so they have to change the engine. So that's they just remove the engine, but the chassis is there. Then another one will, they will get an engine from another registered motor vehicle, and then they will fuse the component. They will fix the axles, all the other major components. We call that rebuild. So the rebuild also is it also follow the same procedure, but this time for rebuild, they also have to pass through the roadworthiness inspection. And of course, they must have the previous registration.
When registering your motor vehicle, it's important that you know its classification. Director Almora explains the distinctions between the different classifications of motor vehicles when registering.
These are the classifications of motor vehicles. The classification is also related to the weight of the motor vehicle. We still follow that in the present registration process, but now we are more focused on the weight because the motor vehicle users charge is based on the weight. So yun na yung ginagamit natin na more na ano natin. If we call it light motor vehicle, this must be up to 16,000 kilograms. So ganun po yung ano niya, progression niya up to heavy.
Just like most things, the process of registering your motor vehicle includes a registration fee. The LTO base their fees on their motor vehicle users' charge, and this is how it works.
Ang motor vehicle users charges, of course, inaano niya yung effect ng motor vehicle sa kalsada natin. Kaya nga motor vehicle users charge, no? So, inano nila yung weight. The higher your weight is, the greater is your effect to the road pavement. So, the higher you will pay. Things like that. Ganun lang yung ano natin sa pag-charge natin or pag-collect ng motor vehicle users charge.
That was LTO Director Francis Almora explaining the process on how to register your motor vehicles, its fees and processes, here on Motoring Today's Motoring Forum, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.